Hello everyone, I'm going to do a first impressions look at the ThruNite Ti3 torch, or T3, I'm not sure how you pronounce it. And it's basically a little flashlight, a very small compact flashlight, designed for everyday carry use, but that's bright and versatile enough that you can use it for lots of other things. And ThruNite were very kind because they sent me this for free to do a review of. Somebody from their company said, hey look, we like your YouTube videos, you review, like a lot of survival stuff, so we're going to send you a free flashlight if you want, and you can do a review of it. So obviously I'll tell you that from the beginning, and I'm not going to pretend I paid for it. So they've sent it to me for free, and I'm going to take a fair and honest look at it. But everything I've heard about these, they're actually pretty good. So what you get is, I've taken some of the stuff out of this already, that was inside here. So basically when you first get it, you'll get it one of these, the ThruNite tin. And it says ThruNite Ti3 guiding you through the night. So pop this open, and this is just a thing in different languages saying if you like it, please give them a good review on Amazon. And here's the torch. You basically get the flashlight and a clip for it in here, but what I've done is I've put the clip already on. So there you go, that's the size of it. It's pretty tiny, isn't it? There's it compared to my thumb. So it's about the size of an average adult's thumb, I guess. It's a single LED that's meant to be very bright. So you've got your clip here that I put on. If I can get that off. It's fairly tough, it's like quite versatile. Strong, so it doesn't come off easily. So you can clip this on either way. So you can clip it here or here, facing either way. So you can use this either as a pocket clip, or you can use this as like a clip for your hat or your shoulder if you've got little epaulets on your jacket. So I'm going to put it back on this way as it was before, where I'd put it on the first time. So that's the size of it. Saying it's about the size of an average adult's thumb, I think, is the best comparison. And it's very light. Obviously it'll be a little bit heavier once I put a AAA battery in, but it's a very lightweight torch. Once you've put a battery in, you twist it to turn it off and cycle through the modes. As far as I understand, there are 3 modes in there. There's sort of very dark, not much light, called Firefly, which is ideal for reading maps in the dark if you don't want to distract the driver in a car, say, or you only want a little tiny bit of light, and that gives you the most battery life out of it. Then you've got the low mode, which is sort of a medium, which is a lot brighter than the Firefly mode, but it's still not massively bright. And then you've got high, which is the full 120 lumens mode from it. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to put the battery in, and I'll just give you a quick look at the instruction manual as well. Then we're going to test it in the house and in the garden to see what it looks like indoors and outdoors. And I'll give you my first impressions of actually using it. But as I said, it's very compact and very small, so it'd be perfect for everyday use. And before I forget, they also give you a spare O-ring and a keyring chain to go around the bottom of it here, but I probably won't use a keyring chain in all honesty, but that is also included in the packet if you wanted it. I just use it on the trouser clip or in a zip-up pocket. Okay, now to show you what's in the manual, hopefully that's focused alright. It says that it's a small but powerful 1 AAA flashlight that uses 120 lumens of output. 4 output modes, as I mentioned earlier: Firefly, low, high, and strobe mode. And to get to the strobe, you have to basically switch through the mode 6 times and it will come on. The LED is a Cree XP-G2 R5 LED, which means nothing to me, but I'm assuming that's a model of LED used, with a lifespan of 20 plus years of runtime. So if that's true to the instructions, that's very good. It means you'll pretty much never have to, change the torch unless you break it somehow. Because obviously you only have to change your batteries, because the actual torch will last forever. There's the length of it, 70mm, so 7 centimeters in length, 14mm head diameter. Weight is 12 grams without the battery, which is nothing. Reflector is just an OP reflector, whatever that is. Aircraft quality aluminum or aluminium body structure, so fairly tough like metal basically. Premium Type 3 hard anodized anti-abrasive finish, and it also means it's easier to grip. Waterproof to IPX8 standard. I have no idea what that translates to in actual use, because I'm used to atmosphere, bars and meters, as in watches, waterproof. Well, I assume it means it can be in heavy rain and a very light puddle and work, but not deep water. Convenient twist switch, and it does twist well, I just tried that. Output and runtime. Firefly, which is 0.04 lumens, lasts 115 hours. Low, which is 12 lumens, lasts 6.3 hours. High, which is 120 lumens, lasts like 0.5 hours, which I guess is half hour. And strobe, 120 lumen, lasts 1 hour because it's off and on, not constantly on. And you can do it with one hand. They're basically saying, you know, you can turn it off and on like that, but I'd probably, in all honesty, find it easier to use two hands. So let's take it back to the beginning, and it's giving you instructions on how to change between the modes, but anyway, I'll try and demonstrate it as I do it. So I'll just clear this up and then I'll cut to using the torch. Okay, I've dimmed lights, and I'm afraid the camera's autofocus won't work as well now, but there's the flashlight in my hand. So basically you twist it on and off into each position to go into each mode, and hopefully we'll go through them in the right order. So if I twist it on, I need to twist it further that way to get it on. Yeah, there we go. Right, this is the very dim mode, so I'm assuming this is Firefly. If I was to do it there, you can see you get a little bit of light in the centre, but that's very dim to the eye. So I'm assuming that's either low or Firefly mode. So let's turn it off and on again, and we'll see what we get next. That's definitely the bright mode, so I must have started off on low, and this is going to be the high 120 lumen one. See, that's pretty bright. You can see bits of dust on the stool on the camera when that's on there. You can see the cracks in the leather. And you can see you've got the very bright spot in the middle, and then it fades out nicely to the lower light, and then it's completely off. So now let's flick it off and on again. Actually no, maybe this seems like an even brighter one than before. So I'm guessing, yeah, this is the high, and I was on the medium sort of low before. So yeah, this is the full power output one then. Yeah, this is very bright, I can tell from the flashlight shining on things. So let's do it off and on again. Oh yeah, one thing I need to mention, which is why it went straight back onto high, is apparently there's a sort of design in it memory mode. So if you flick it off and flick it back on within 10 seconds, it will go back to the one it was on before in case you quickly need to re-access it. So if I just let that wear off, and then we'll do it off and on again. Okay, so there's your little dim Firefly mode. There's your medium mode, which is still very bright. I thought this was the high just then, but obviously it's not. Because even the medium sort of low mode is very bright for a normal little flashlight like this. I wouldn't expect something so bright. Now let's do the big mode. Yeah, and as you can see, that dazzles the camera. If I look into it, that would dazzle me. And it's very bright. So what I'm going to do now is quickly go through all the modes until I get to strobe, which is what I want to demonstrate. There we go, we're on to strobe. So you can see the camera's not going to focus on that very well, but there's a hidden strobe mode if you wanted that for maybe sending a distress signal or escaping from somebody, or something could shine that in their eyes, and that would be really hard to see with strobe mode on. So what I'm going to do now is turn the lights off completely, and then we're going to shine it against the far wall, and we're going to see what it looks like in the dark in a room where it's only this illuminating. Right, I have the camera against the far wall, and there's a very small bit of ambient light now, but not very much. So it's quite dim to the eye, and now I'm going to go through the modes on here. So here's the Firefly mode. Now I think you can just about see that on the camcorder. If I turn it this way, you'll see it's definitely on, but I can see that with my eye, but I don't know if it's brilliant on the camcorder. But you'd definitely be able, for the Firefly, even how low it is, be able to, you know, see something if you wanted to actually read, say, writing or whatever. That would be possible. Because as you can see from there, it does have light coming off of it. It's just designed to be dim on purpose. Right, now let's go to the low mode. And again, sort of, that's brighter still, but unless I put it back on Firefly, that's anything of a twist thing rather than the button thing, so let's... Right, so I'm not sure at the moment if I'm on low or high, but as you can see, that's illuminating the wall very well. very bright to look at there. And yeah, let's switch to the next mode. Yeah, that was the low, so we're on the high now. So yeah, that's very bright. I think that's almost as bright as my sort of other flashlight. One thing I do like about this, and I think there are two variants of the same flashlight, is this is kind of a yellower looking light. It's a more natural looking light than a lot of the LED flashlights I've used, which are like very bright, intense white light. This is more yellow, which I actually like. It doesn't hurt the eyes so much when you're shining it on things. It looks more like, you know, a normal bulb would look rather than a fluorescent kind of LED type thing. So there's that. And I'll just switch it to strobe quickly so you can see that. And there's strobe mode. As you can see, that's it's the same illumination, but it's strobing. And if I do it into the camera like that, you wouldn't be able to see anything. So yep, there's it in strobe mode. Makes stuff look like it's sort of moving in slow motion. So what we're going to do now is we're going to take this outside and see what it looks like in natural light. As you can probably see, we've had some hail that's come down very heavily recently, so I'll just do this quickly before it gets too wet. Alright, let's try the one-handed operation. Alright, there's the Firefly mode. Let's take that off and go on to the normal mode. Right, there's low. You can definitely see that's working. I'm being able to see up to the fence in the garden on low, which should actually be bright enough for what you need. And we're getting a good test of the waterproofing right now because it's hailing on it. But let's take that off, give it a couple of seconds, and then we'll put it onto the highest mode. And there we go, there's it on high. That's very easy for me to see everything in the garden. As you can see, big long beam. If I take that off, you can only see a bit with the floodlight. But yeah, you can see where you wouldn't normally be able to see. For example, if I turn it there and then do it, you can see everything which you wouldn't normally be able to see. So yeah, it's a very good strong light. The distance this goes is actually a lot better than some of the brighter sort of flashlights I've had, which is surprising. If I just go up the path a bit with it. For something this small, you've got something that casts out a lot of light. My feet are getting soaked now, but yeah, so we're getting a bit of waterproof testing on it, as you can see, because the weather's pretty horrible. So yeah, heavy rain it can survive, no problem. It's got a decent O-ring in there. I don't want my camera to start shorting out because of the rain, so I'll stop soon. But yeah, as you can see, that has no problem whatsoever in illuminating stuff with the full power beam. So yeah, the ThruNite little flashlight is very, very good.